And I call this meeting to order. Good morning.
Good morning.
Welcome to the January 29th, 2025 meeting of the Fitchburg Housing Authority. Time now is 9:03 a.m. Please be advised that FATV is conducting an audio and video recording of this meeting for public broadcast. I ask that if anyone else in the audience who is recording this meeting, please identify themselves for the record now by standing and stating your name and the city of residence. At this time, I ask that all electronic devices be placed in silent mode. At this time, we are going to open the meeting with opportunity for public comment. Any member of the audience may stand and make a public comment for not more than 2 minutes on an item on the agenda only. You may do so at this time.
Chair, if I could interject, there's I've asked the tenant association officers to attend this meeting for CJ Durkin. Item number 13 and 14 pertains to our tenant associations. And that's on page in your board package. Let me look at that.
Page 10.
Yes, page 10, items number 17 and 18. And I asked them to attend because in addition to approving our budget, we also have the ability to authorize funds to the tenant association. And we have 2 recognized tenant associations for the Fitchburg Housing Authority. We have the CJ Durkin Tenant Association, which is also an LTO, a local tenant organization.
Yeah.
We also have Friends of the Wallace Tower Tenant Association.
So are they going to make a public comment in regards to supporting that, or are they asking for something other than, because if this is a motion, then we'd have to take this out of order.
Correct.
To do, unless they have to leave.
I asked them to attend just to let them know what we're doing. I'm not sure if they wanted to make a public comment or not. Hopefully they support the motions. And if I could just add that under the HLC's Public Housing Notice 2024-13, they increased the amount of money per tenant association from $6 a unit to $25 a unit, which is a couple 100% increase. The one change I did make was the CJ Durkin Tenant Association is an LTO. It really encompasses almost the entire housing authority. So, but what I did is I included their amount to include Daniel Heights.
Mr. Bojan, can I ask you to hold
Sure.
We want to finish public comment. So is there anyone else, is there anyone designed to make a public comment at this time? Okay, seeing none, we will close the public comment period and continue on with our agenda. Item number 3 on the agenda, motion to approve the minutes of the FHA regular board meeting held on December 23rd. Do I have a motion? So motion made by Mr. Goodwin, and second by Mr. Lane. Are there any questions on the motion? Seeing none, the motion carries. Item number 3, motion to approve the minutes of the FHA executive board meeting on December 23rd, 2024. Do I have a motion?
Motion. Second.
Motion by Mr. Lucilio, second by Mr. Goodwin. Any questions on the motion? All in favor?
Aye.
The motion carries. Item number 5 on the agenda, motion to elect officers of the FHA Board of Commissioners.
So moved.
Motion made by Mr. Goodwin, second by Mr. Lucilio. Any questions on the motion?
I would officially like to move that we elect the officers as they currently stand. Thomas Hughes as chair, myself as vice chair, Dave as treasurer, and Janice as assistant treasurer. The only change would be that Thomas would be the acting chairman, not the interim chairman. I make that motion.
Motion been made by Commissioner Goodwin,
Second.
Seconded by Commissioner Spillane. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, the motion carries. Thank you all for your support and your consideration for me to continue as chairman of this great organization. Thank you so much. All right, item number 6 on the agenda, motion to approve the VOC annual compensation levels. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Motion by Commissioner Goodwin, seconded by
Second.
Commissioner Vasalio. Are there any questions on the motion?
Can I make a comment, Chair?
Yes, sir.
The compensation levels are set by the state statutes. I don't believe that they've probably changed in decades. I would recommend that the board approve the current levels, which is the same for several years now. And these are by statute. And HLC's budget regulations, budget guidelines issued last year also stipulated that the compensation levels are the same for statute. So.
Any other comments or questions on the motion? Motion been made and seconded. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries. Item number 7 on the agenda, notice of proposed amendments to the bylaws. Commissioner Goodwin.
Janice and I are the bylaws subcommittee. We met with Doug maybe first week of this month, January that is. We want to add a bylaw relating to the potential removal of officers, largely because we currently don't speak to that at all in our bylaws, so that can create some confusion if something should come up. I believe everyone's been provided with a copy of the proposed bylaw. We are not voting on that today. This is to give 30-day notice that everyone has a chance to read it, so we can move to enact that bylaw next month. And of course, if people have questions about it, certainly you can direct them to Doug or to me or to Janice as we were the subcommittee to put it together.
Okay. So if anyone has questions right now or, confused about something, I think Mr. Goodwin will answer any questions anyone has right now regarding these proposed changes or the next step in the process. This is not a motion to vote on. It's just any questions that anybody have for Mr. Goodwin. No questions?
We'll see you in 30 days. Then.
All right, 30 days, we'll be back to revisit this. All right. Motion to select and approve FHA board meeting schedule for 2025.
So moved.
Motion made by Commissioner Goodwin. Second by Commissioner Vasilio. Questions on the motion?
I can make a comment.
Yes, sir.
We looked at our schedule, things that happen throughout the year. And we made some modifications to the traditional third Wednesday of the month. The only comment I would make is in May 21st, there's supposed to be our first meeting at Wallace. I would switch that to July. We had a construction meeting on Monday. I think a July date for Wallace for the community room area would be more appropriate than the May date.
So you say you just switch it, Durkin and Wallace in that, just switch them in that spot?
Okay. So the May 21st date will be at CJ Durkin. And then, and then July 16th will be at Wallace.
Correct.
Okay.
I would probably recommend, I don't know if Kim looked at it, the March date, if we should kick that out to the last Wednesday of the month because we have the training for several key staff members. I would probably recommend that as well. And that would be
Doug, would it be easier for us to agree on a February meeting date? And since there are some changes you're recommending, we can finalize the meeting schedule for the year itself as a whole in February.
if the board would like that, that's
To my mind, it's just a question of the more notes I put on this page, the more likely I am to forget where I'm supposed to be. That's why I showed up 45 minutes early to this meeting.
that's fine. We can table this.
Yeah, I would. So I would move that, so you want to have the February meeting on the 26th or 27th?
Correct.
Which you know which one?
I would, if you can authorize me to select that date after conferring with the board members, there's a reason, Sue, our CPA, needs to be here at the end of the year, financials. But I should probably have some indication next week how far along she is with that.
Okay. So I will make a motion to table the selection of times for the meeting dates and locations until the February meeting. Does anyone want to second that motion?
I'll second.
So repeat that.
So the first motion is we're tabling making this decision right now.
Okay. Yeah.
All right. Janice has seconded. Would you like to call? Is there any discussion you want to call?
Well, so then we're gonna vote to amend what we have right now, or just table.
We're tabling the full thing, which is what we're doing right now. So we're tabling that for right now, and then we're going to vote to amend the February meeting.
Okay.
And I'll make that motion once we finish this.
All right. Motion been made by Commissioner Goodwin to table the discussion regarding the 2025 calendar, and seconded by Commissioner Spillane. Any questions on the motion? All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries.
I would also like to make a motion to allow Doug Bushman, after consultation with the members of the board and the fee accountant, right?
Correct.
To select the ultimate date for the February board meeting.
Okay. Is there a second? Oh, before we do that, do we have a tentative date in mind, or we're just gonna hold off without making a date altogether?
26th or the 27th. Those are the two dates.
Okay, so you don't know which one until you talk. Okay, all right. The motion been made by Commissioner Goodwin. Is there a second motion on the motion?
Second.
Seconded by Commissioner Basilio. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, motion carries. Okay. Item number 9 on the agenda, motion to approve the FY 2024 certificate of compliance with lead paint notification.
So
Motion made by Commissioner Goodwin, seconded by Commissioner Basilio. Mr. Motion, could you bring us up to speed on this, please?
I'm going to pass this to our deputy director, who's more involved.
Thank you.
So the certification of compliance with the notification procedures is just confirming that we as an agency are following the law in terms of notifying tenants of any lead paint, which at our family housing developments have all been abated. And we have certificates of reports, which we are required to provide tenants when they move into the units. So upon signing a lease agreement, we have them sign a certification saying that we provide them the lead paint reports.
Okay.
That's basically what this is just certifying that we're doing that. That process is also acknowledged in HAFIS. When we mark vacancies as being leased up, we have to acknowledge that we notified them of lead paint loss.
Right. Now, do that certificate has to be posted in a public place in the facility or no?
No, it does not.
Okay. All right.
This is one of the standard end of the year reports we have to submit.
Okay. Any other questions? Anyone speaking on? All right, all in favor?
Aye.
The motion carries. Thank you. Motion to approve the FY 2025 budget.
But if you go by that, I think you're actually in the right place. One of the things that usually does is just like this list, you like actually pay, they have the affirmative action.
Number 10, no?
Number 10, so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My apologies. I skipped item number 10 on the agenda. My apologies. So motion to approve the affirmative action goal.
So
Motion made by Commissioner Goodwin, seconded by Commissioner Basilio. Anyone speaking on the motion?
This is a standard, actually, this is one of the brand new initiatives that HLC is mandated that local housing authorities have to undertake. Every 2 years, we have to look at our affirmative action goals. We also had to pass a language access plan, a fair housing plan, which we did 2 years ago. This is just a new standard end of the year compliance biannually. And we exceed our stated goals. And the reason that the numbers dropped is probably because Wallace Tower has a significant amount of vacancies, but we're within our affirmative action goals. We don't have to do any marketing because we're well within our goals for our demographic area.
So in moving to approve this, we're not really approving it. We're saying that we're doing it because we are legally required to by DOH.
Sure. You're approved.
We're certified.
You're certified that the staff is actually complying with the law.
Okay. Does this have anything to do with a federal mandate or just this is a state mandate?
Total state.
Total state mandate.
And this is less than 4 years old now. This is one of the initiatives.
Okay. Anyone else? All in favor? Aye. Motion carries.
Chair, if I could direct you to page 8 of our report, I wanted to take a quick detour to recenter my staff. First, I want to really thank the board for authorizing Andrew Scoop and myself to take the Cornell University's labor relations class. We learned a lot, and we think it'll save the Housing Authority time, money, and reduce labor expenses. It was a very intense course last summer. It was all online, and I tell you, Cornell University is one of the premier universities for labor law. And it was a very tight, concise schedule, and we took a lot from it. Andrew, did you want to comment?
Yeah, it's already been very useful because we've had grievances that we've had to deal with and had a whole section about grievances, how to handle it. Whereas before, I would have been kind of flying blind into, at least now I have sort of a roadmap of how to deal with these kinds of situations.
Yeah.
Things that you just, don't really get a chance to experience unless you go through it yourself. You kind of got some tidbits of that from people in the course when you have your discussions, some partner activities with people in different sectors. It brings a lot of different perspectives on labor relations.
Yeah. And our colleagues from management, from unions, and we were able to collaborate online, and we took a lot away from the course. It was very good. And I want to thank the board and for the meetings.
How much did that cost us?
I think $3,200 per student.
Was it, you'll save it on the negotiations?
Yes. Just the things that we stumbled into, as Andrew said, that we won't stumble into. I also want to jump to item 13, acknowledgement and collaboration with FATV and FHA. I really want to thank, I guess I'm saying this, I want to thank the chair for moving us to the 21st century. Okay. And this owl keeps on staring at me. I want to thank FATV. I want to thank Cam Davis, Cam, for moving us forward with the chairman's directive. And now we're on TV, so the public can see us. This is something new. And I think this is our third.
It's not going to work out for me, but it should be fine.
Yes. And well, we are live, and it's great for the public. And the public will see us, and it's something new. And the owl keeps on staring at me, Mayor. I don't know.
Staring at all of us.
But it just winked at me, Mayor. But Cam, Chair, thank you for doing this. And FATV has been absolutely phenomenal for doing this.
If I might add, I thought it was important that all of our meetings are minutes and stuff public anyways, but I thought it would be open an opportunity for our residents to also be a part of the meeting. The ones that are possibly in their homes and can't get down here, or on other locations and can't get over. So I thought it'd be a great idea to kind of increase participation that way. Hopefully, in the next meeting or so, then we'll be able to send out notifications if they want to be, be a part of public comment or something like that. They'll be able to send correspondence to executive assistant to where they can be. We have an opportunity for them to be heard, even if they can't be physically here with us.
And Nate Lenny was just a total asset to the city of Fitchburg and the community there, and just helping us out. He was here earlier to make sure that the owl was live. And thank you to the staff for getting us and purchasing this. Going back to item number 12, acknowledgement of FSS achievement. Brianna and Sol, people approach. We had a over 2 years ago, the Fitchburg Housing Authority applied for the family the HUD Family Self-Sufficiency Grant, which helps families that are on our voucher housing actually become more economic, gainful employment, help them with education and training. And we had a lot of difficulty, to be honest, signing people up, and we had a change of staff. And Brianna Boulay, one of our resident service coordinators, she either volunteered or everybody stepped back, but she took on the role of our FSS coordinator. And she just went like gangbusters signing up FSS families for the FSS program. And she came to me, she said, can Sol Toro, who works in our public housing division, help out? And the two ladies just did a phenomenal job. And within 60 days, we hit our goal, our mandated goal of 25 families before the end of December, which made HUD renew our funding for the next 2 years.
Wow.
And they were working weekends, they were calling our voucher holders. And this program is going to help people with gainful employment, education, training. It's a win for the entire community and for the families that are on voucher housing. Brianna, so would you like to say anything? You did just a phenomenal job.
Big thing. Honestly, I couldn't have done without Sol. So we really want to open it up to not just employed Section 8 participants, which I think was a barrier before. And then we opened it up to unemployed, and that made it huge difference. And we let people to open up to those just on Social Security as of right now too, and explore, future goals, because you can still work part-time and, have those bigger conversations. But for myself, I'm not buying people. And so Sol, she was a huge believer in the program, and, we brought Sol on and she was able to work side by side and explain the program and be right there at intake and make the phone calls. And, it makes a big difference when you believe the program and believe the future of the residents. And we were able to have people come in and believe in themselves again, and you can see them just feel empowered. And that was really cool. And so now we have 25 as of December, and now we have 26. And continuing to grow with a plan to continue that growth throughout the year. So, thank you.
There is an FSS coordinating committee mandated by HUD, probably has not met in over a year. There's a lot of community members involved. I believe the mayor's office has a slot on that as well, the Chamber of Commerce, but we're going to be moving for we're probably one of our first meetings in a long time of that committee. And it involves workforce development, other agencies, private companies, government, and the chamber to help, our voucher holders, get gainful employment. And the ladies did a phenomenal job. Every 2 or 3 days, Brianna would come into my office. We're going to do this. We're going to do this. And I would say, what are the numbers? You're 18, 19. And she really knocked it out. And Sol had to do double duty. So thank you very much. Thank you.
How many participants? We have 26 now.
Run over.
Perfect.
Yeah.
And that's out of 186 voucher holders. So it's a good percentage.
Yes, I mean, I did leave those who are, 88 alone, they're just living their best life right now. So, but, at the end of the day, we're able to empower them again. And some of them came in and they were just crying. They would be like, I gave it up on these goals, so I gave it up on, a future, and now I have hope again. And that's a big thing.
A hand up, not a handout.
Right, and that's another thing too, is they were relieved to hear and have the program explained. And, Sol was able to do that, and I was able to do that together, and that's a big thing.
Brianna, I have to say, during that time period, you would come in and your determination was very infectious. And it's like, I knew you could do it. And it's just the determination you had was just amazing. Okay, you did just outstanding job. And so again, thank you very much.
I also know this, I want to touch base on this real quick, that I do know this week might have past 48 hours, people might have heard the grant stuff from the federal government. As of now, FSS has not been affected. to my knowledge. I've been touching base on that and touching in on that, and as of now, we're still good. So good. So.
Thank you.
So I'm hoping we don't leave on that until further notice.
Yeah, for the next one.
Up on those types of things.
Thank you, ladies. Thank you.
Thank you all for your awesome work. Thank you.
Okay.
Now we're on page 9 of my report. Just quickly, we're preparing for the fiscal year 24 end of year financials and there's other closeout documents that'll be discussed at the February meeting. So there's nothing to report at this time.
Thank you. Item number 15 on the motion to approve the FY 25 budget.
So moved.
Motion made by Commissioner Goodwin, seconded by
Dave,
Commissioner Vasilio. Anyone speaking on the motion?
This budget was prepared with our fee account in line with the HLC's fiscal year 2024-13 public housing notice. It increases maintenance staff to 11. We're able to add a 12th maintenance employee off budget by just the amount of money we're receiving on fish projects. It increases, it has admin staff of 19, which will increase to 20 on the Housing Now grant position, which is off budget as well. And but it brings our staff up to a level we need to undertake all our duties, our public housing duties and Section 8 housing duties. It's a well-balanced budget, and our understanding is once the budget is submitted, HLC is going to deposit a significant amount of money into our reserve balance. They're doubling people's housing authority reserves, but this budget ensures that we can render our duties to our customers and ensure that maintenance is undertaking the work orders and the vacancies.
So is maintenance up to staffing levels now, or we still need to fill customers?
I conducted, we had a team meeting for maintenance interviews, which Bruce Budrick and Andrew participated, our 2 maintenance foremen. We selected 2 maintenance employees who are currently temps for the 2 full-time positions. So we've had a good 6 to 8 months of reviewing them, and they've worked out very well. I'm happy to report to the mayor that and the board that they're all Fitchburg residents, which is it's a twofer. We're putting money into the local economy, but during snowstorms, every now we get snow or other emergencies, they are literally 10 minutes down the road. Right. So, but I would have the board and I would have the board to support this budget, and we can get this submitted to the state, and you could finish up some other hiring as well.
Okay. All right, anyone else? Okay, seeing none, all in favor? Aye. Aye, the motion carries. Number 16, motion to approve payables for December 24th through January 25. I have a motion. Motion by Commissioner Vasilio, second by Commissioner Spillane. Mr. Motion.
Just the normal payables prepared by our finance department. I have no comment.
Anyone else? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, motion carries. Item number 17, motion to approve the C.J. Durkin tenant LTO funds. Mr. Motion.
As discussed earlier, a significant increase for our tenant associations. The Durkin LTO, the funds would encompass Daniel Heights. So they would have to expend some funds at Daniel Heights, hopefully that help us organize a tenant association there. But my staff can give the tenant association further guidance on how much more they should spend and what they can spend it on. Per the regulations of the state, they have to submit to us their end of the year financials from the previous fiscal year to receive the new funding. So while the board would approve this, funds would not be released until we receive all the documentation to close out 2024. And it's a standard operating procedure, but I would recommend passage of the the tenant LTO funds. And any comments, ladies? So,
We already passed it.
Just
here.
admitted the. Or, yeah.
So the form has been submitted?
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
What made them give us more money?
I can't take any credit for it.
$700 more to like $3,000?
It's inflation.
Yeah.
It took long. Yeah, I think it stayed like that for years. I think that $6 was like 20 years. Yeah. Yeah,
Why do you include Daniel Heights?
because they're an LTO and we have to organize Daniel Heights. We're gonna, the parking lot project at Daniel Heights will happen. And Andrew and myself, we had a major parking lot road sidewalk project in Marlboro. And it's gonna take a lot of tenant participation and outreach because it's a big inconvenience. We want a tenant association and representation of Daniel Heights.
And we have tried.
And we've tried multiple
Right.
times.
I have tried.
But we've talked about trying to figure out how to get Daniel Heights to have a tenant organization. Realistically, if we include them in the CJ Durkin Tenant Association with the understanding that some of that money should go there, seeing the actual funds available may be a carrot to, I mean, it may not work, but it's trying something.
Oh, absolutely.
So, yeah.
Yeah.
We need that one person who's gonna spearhead it.
Yeah.
We already stole her.
No.
So I'm not sure.
Yeah. I think having a commissioner and a separate tenant association president is the best.
Yeah.
You don't want to repeat it,
No comment. But I think it's a good,
Yeah, because we've had somebody come from Boston and met and explain what they could do and monies and everything. And it's such a small group. There's only 56 apartments. Where you have here and over at Wallace, there's a lot more people to choose from. We're so small in different.
I've heard the ask of
Certainly like a try.
maybe we could take the next best possible president from Wallace or here and transfer them to Daniel Heights to get the process done. That's sharing it.
They have a separate tenants organization at Daniel Heights and a separate one of each building. Do they get more money? If you combine them with another one.
well, they get more money. This allocation combines Durkin and Daniel Heights.
Okay.
Wallace is just for Wallace.
So it's almost per unit.
Yes,
So then it would be Daniel Heights, $25 times 26 units,
correct.
56.
And that's what I did for this allocation.
Thank
All
you.
right, so the motion been made and seconded. Are there any other questions on the motion?
Cam, did we make a motion on that?
I thought you did.
I don't think I did. I don't think anyone did. We just got it.
I
So-
thought it was Dave and Janice Stone.
Oh, no, they did pay it. It's not this particular item.
Now a motion to approve the CJ Durkin tenant LTO funds.
So moved.
Second.
Motion made by Commissioner Goodwin, seconded by Commissioner Basilio. We already had the discussion. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries. Item number 18, motion to approve the Friends of Wallace Tower funds.
So moved.
Motion by Commissioner Goodwin, seconded by. That's number 18,
Second by Dave.
seconded by Commissioner Basilio. Mr. Boschman.
No comment. It's the same formula. And they have to return their documents as well to our finance department and we release the check.
All right, thank you. Anybody else? Anyone else to speak on the motion? Seeing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye, the motion carries. Item number 19. Motion to approve change order, Wallace Tower.
So moved.
Second.
Motion made by Commissioner Goodwin, seconded by Commissioner Basilio. Mr. Boschman.
I'm going to turn this over to our deputy director. I just got to step out.
Thank you.
So as the board is aware, there were several proposed change orders that were brought up. I think it was in the December meeting. It didn't, the proposed change orders don't need board approval. They're discussed at the construction subcommittee meetings. The construction meetings with our state construction advisor, the contractor and the architect. And then once there was an agreement on moving the project forward, when items come up that need to be addressed, they put these proposed change orders, and then once several of them have been approved and the work has been completed, they group them into change orders, which is actually what requires the board's approval. So this is the first change order to the Wallace Tower contract. And you can see on the attachment J that it actually lists out what the costs are, and there's also a short list in Mr. Bushman's report. But it is permit fees and a no-cost time extension, replace residential shower mixing valves, safety ladder for the elevator penthouse on the roof, plumbing isolation valve replacements, ceiling abatement at residential units for asbestos, 8th floor expansion loop plumbing. This is to resolve a plumbing issue that had come up, as well as the pressure reducing valve, floors 1 through 7 for replacement.
So they give us extra money for that? We change orders?
So there's already a change order contingency in the money that the state allocates us with all of the state funded construction projects. So the money comes out of that change order contingency. And so this is 3% of the total contract change. It's $639,650.40 total.
If I can make a comment, later in the board report, there's not a motion, but a discussion about the Wallace Tower project. I'm just going to add to it so we can save time.
Yeah.
This project is going phenomenally well. What a professional organization, GVW and our design team. This project of over $24 million causes us less problems than projects we've had for $50,000. And we have a standard every Monday construction meeting. The state's fully invested. There's a significant amount of money for change orders in the millions. And our goal is to utilize that money for unanticipated issues. I really want to thank Bruce Budrick, our Director of Maintenance and Facilities. He identified a key plumbing issue. I don't know how much you elaborated on that.
I didn't get too much into it because I know we discussed it at the December meeting.
But, you know, the isolation loops, expansion loops, shower valves, that extra money is because of Bruce, you know, identified and said, hey, we got to fix this. And did a phenomenal job. What's going to be coming up for the Wallace Tower project is the exterior, the play area that currently the YMCA has a licensing agreement. We've actually convinced the state to do extra funds for a designer. We've got a couple of design concepts.
Yeah.
We want to include the children at the Y and the adults, our seniors. We're narrowing down to 2 concepts, and we're going to talk with the tenant association about that. But we're excited about Wallace, and we're anticipating the official ribbon cutting when it's opened the fall of 2026.
How goes the showers? So the showers, the walk-in showers, we have out of this?
No, because that's already been built in.
Oh, okay.
Not every floor is going to get them, but we're working on that. Our goal is to maximize the contingency account as much as possible.
Yes, yes.
If we want to, if there's 2 million for contingencies, we want to make sure that that money is allocated properly. There's the first floor. I don't know if you've driven by the YMCA. It's expanding out on that side of the wall side. Well, we advocated for a bump out of the bump outs. They actually go a little further out. Because every square footage we can pick up on the first floor is something to do for programming, recreational for the tenants. And this is a one-shot deal. Once this is done, we can't go back for the next 50 years, if not longer. So we have a phenomenal advocacy team. And I think I'm just so impressed with the entire collaboration. And our clerk of the works is phenomenal. So just very, very good. And it's all, we are working on the balcony lights, Mayor. And I've insisted, I said, when that mayor walks out of City Hall, I want her to look up to see those balcony lights, the lights on there.
Just get LED lights that change colors. You do like in Boston.
That was amazing.
That'd be cool.
If the mayor wants to dictate that in the more official order, I'll bring it up.
All red and white, no blue. We're not doing lemons or anything.
And as I know, you know, we ordered the trucks, and the trucks are red. We'll have, once our 2 new trucks are in, the entire fleet will be all red. Okay, no blue. But HLC loves our team. They love our advocacy of getting as much money as possible. And they like investing with us. Because they know that the money's gonna be well spent. And, the bump outs of the bump outs caused a couple of chuckles. But we're gonna get that in the recreational area, and it's gonna be ADA accessible as well. And there'll be partitions to separate, seniors and elderly, for some areas, but it's gonna be a nice, a nice gem for our community. And when I go, when I eat and use the restaurants in downtown Fitchburg, I see a lot of our residents from Walls in this building. Well, good. I'm happy about it. Again, we've had projects of $50,000, causes more headaches than $24 million. Yeah.
They seem good.
Mr. Bushman, is it possible for us to request like a full report? Maybe bring in Mr. Budrick and the contract and just give the board a full report and an update on where we are. You know what I mean? Right.
I can do one better. I can ask the GVW's superintendent for the meeting. I'll talk to George, the owner of the company. He'd be more than happy.
Yeah.
I gotta tell you, they're just a professional company with all unionized labor. You get what you pay for, right?
Yeah, prevailing wage.
But they are just a great group, and I will do that. We do now include the minutes of the construction meetings, but I will ask the GVW to give us a board update.
I got one more question. How many Fitchburg residents are working on a job, construction jobs?
That I do not know.
Well, maybe just ask the guy.
Yeah.
What's the timeline again? Remind me, project completion?
We anticipate a substantial completion summer of 26, where we can have full access to the building, with the final completion probably the fall of 26.
And the total project cost like 25 million?
We're going to hit 26 million.
26 million.
And that's not counting the air source heat pumps, $3.5 million. That's not counting the exterior, which was 600,000. So we're looking at a $30 million.
Really, 4.1 million plus 26, 30.1 million.
Yeah, there you go.
That's even better.
Yeah, we want to see the contingency at $1.
Either that or take a contingency.
The library project has about 25 Fitchburg residents working at, because it's red light go up. And I don't know if we have any Fitchburg residents working on the job.
We can ask
So that when we have them come, that we can ask them, make sure,
That's what we
you
want.
can give them, say, hey, they're gonna ask this question, give them a heads up, so you have enough.
Laborers, electricians, all people that live in Fitchburg working on a job, so you can keep your money here.
And we're going to start up our maintenance intern program for high school kids that live in Fitchburg. I'll see if GVW can take on one or two of those.
Nice. Nice.
A motion been made and seconded. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, motion carries. Number 20, voucher housing, motion to approve HCB home ownership program.
I would actually like to make a motion to table this item until the next meeting. Oh, Dave's giving me the look.
No?
So I think this is a really interesting program. I think it's honestly the logical continuation of the FSS program, which now that we're really vested in it with the great work by Sol and Brianna, I think this is something we really should look at. The concern for me is I went through I think it was 18 or something page document in our board report that details how the program works and all the stipulations. My concern, and I don't think this is a reason we shouldn't vote, but I think it's something we need to know more about before we jump in. I'm worried that this program will cause a lot of increased administrative duties to do this program. So I'm not saying we shouldn't do the program. I think it's a great program. But I would love to have input from Brianna as the FSS coordinator and maybe Roberta as our current Section 8 coordinator or director. I don't want to give her the short end of the stick on her job title. To see what they think of the potential increased administrative burden. Because if you read through the materials, there are some responsibilities added by the program, which are probably easy to fold into what we already do, like inspecting properties that are potentially going to be purchased through this program. The one that really hit me was the FHA will have a lot of responsibilities in terms of reviewing the potential financing of these deals for specific things, which I don't think any of it's unovercomable, but I also think it's going to end, like there are enough pieces to what's required, that it's going to add some substantial time. And I want to make sure that we're ready to take that on rather than just jumping in and seeing what happens.
Sounds very reasonable.
Yeah, I agree with, I'm sorry, go ahead. Commissioner.
One of the, I reviewed that, and one of the things I noticed was they need to participate, so who's gonna buy a home has to take a HUD-approved home buyer counseling course.
Mayor, thank you for attending the meeting.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Did you want to say anything there?
Nope, that's absolutely.
That they have to take a home buyer counsel, HUD-approved home buyer counseling course, which includes all those things that are listed. But how would that play? And how would we do that? Because you don't want your staff having to learn how to do this HUD-based course.
Right.
There's a lot of material. And years ago, I did a first-time home buyer course. I was a coordinator for first-time home buyer courses, and there's a lot of information. New View Community is approved to do it. So I don't know if that's something you want to look at, to have some other agency come in and do that for the tenants, because they do it all the time online.
And I think that just speaks
Can't
to
finish.
Yeah.
There's a lot to
a
it.
great program.
Yeah.
I think Commissioner Adams, he brought up a lot of great, and a good one, I'm sorry. Well, he actually, I'm actually impressed, he did a deep dive into the regs. There's a lot of HUD trainings on this, but I think you're right. I think I may want to table it for 2 months, for just to give my staff a good time to delve into it.
Yeah, and I want to be clear, I think we should be tabling it with the understanding that eventually this is really something we should be doing.
Right.
Because especially with the success of the FSS program in the last 2 months, it's great. But I think, this was like when we jumped into OFH, we took our time to make sure that it wasn't too much. I don't think this is nearly the same potential burden, but they're not giving us $80,000 to fund a new position to administer this program. So we need to make sure that it's something we can do.
I think it's a great idea to take our time and have some honest discussion and research, even, ask some tough questions, maybe talk to another organization who is doing it already to see, is this, something that we really want to do? Can we do that in capacity to undertake something?
We're sitting, Brianna and myself and several others are going to the National NARO Convention in Washington in March. I'm sure they're going to have information about the home ownership program.
So I will move to table this until the first meeting following the NARO National Convention.
Do we need a motion on that?
Well, I have to, someone's got to, we can't just table, we have to leave. Yeah.
All right, so I'm gonna ask for a motion to table item number 20 until our April meeting. Mr. Bo, you asked for 2 months, right? It's February and March. We'll come back in April and revisit this.
I will make that.
Yeah.
Okay,
So
Second.
next, motion made by Commissioner Goodwin, second by Commissioner Spillane. All in favor? Aye. Motion carries. Item number 21, motion to approve the HCV, my glasses on. The HCV project-based program.
So moved.
Motion by Commissioner Goodwin, seconded by Commissioner Spillane. Mr. Bushman.
So it's kind of interesting. We have some project-based vouchers in Fitchburg Place. It was done under, I believe, under a separate agreement, but it's not in really our admin plan. This would clearly establish a project-based voucher program for the Fitchburg Housing Authority. We're limited to 20% of our total. I'm still getting clarification if that includes the Fitchburg Place vouchers, but whatever that final number is, on one side it could be 22, on the other side it could be 38. But one of my primary emphases of wanting this program is a tool for any future development. I would like to switch out Milk, Tap, and Forest from the federal public housing portfolio to Section 8 project-based vouchers. The income stream would be substantially more. Right now, it's the federal public housing units. They pay for their costs, but it's not much more than that. project-based Section 8 vouchers could be a substantial more income, which I could apply to, our employees, other tangential items like that. But it's just another tool in the quiver of the Fitchburg Housing Authority. Every now and then we're approached by developers about project-based housing, and I said, well, right now we don't have that program. If Doug wants the project-based city vouchers, I still have to come back to the board for the board. So you're not gonna read the paper. Fitchburg Housing Authority dedicates 20 vouchers to, I mean, there is if we have project-based vouchers that are not in the direct control of the Fitchburg Housing Authority, there's notice requirements, there's advertising requirements. Fitchburg, Milk Forest and Tap are a little different because they're directly controlled and owned by the Fitchburg Housing Authority.
Okay. So in order for you to go outside of the Fitchburg Housing Authority and get vouchers, then you have to come back to the board for approval.
That's correct, and I would still come back to the board next month for Fitchburg, Taft and Forest. Just to be clear, unless the board would authorize me to do that, but if there's ever going to an outside entity, I have to do notice requirements, advertisement requirements. I have to do a bid process.
So you just can't say, oh, I like this building, we're gonna give 20 vouchers to this.
No, I can't do that.
Thank you. All right, motion's been made and seconded. All in favor? All right, motion carries. Okay, housing division. So this covers a number of reports and updates. The board packet was sent out earlier, so I don't know if Mr. Boschman, do you have any questions on Mr. Boschman on these pages, right? What is that page? 14 and 15.
With many signs of reflection, work with Cam and Andrew. I did redesign my board package. So really, all the motions are, I call motions and acknowledgements and notices are right in the beginning.
Right, okay.
So at this point, all the motions I believe have been talked to.
Yeah.
Now it's do board members have any questions on anything else like that? And this is where you could ask us, you could talk about any other items.
Yeah.
I mean, going through it, I think, to me, it looks like everything's reasonable. I would say the only thing I think I would request, and it's not true right now, but if there is some, if Andy's looking at the HAPUS or you're looking at the TAR, whatever it is, and something you look at is going, oh my God, what is the, like if something is blowing your mind, then let's talk about it. But I would say that you guys have done a really good job, especially with the HAPUS over the past 2 years. So I appreciate very much that Andy's always explained it to us.
Right.
But at the same time, it's been relatively stable. And so it's not like if we suddenly lose 20 tenants 1 month, we need to talk about that. But if it's the same within that same variable of we leased up 3 and we vacated 2,
right?
You know, I think this is a great way to do it. So I would say my request would be if you're seeing something that is extraordinarily outside of whatever the reasonable tolerance is, please bring that up as something we have to discuss. And, you know, then we as commissioners, I read all of it. Nothing I saw blew my mind. I'm glad you sent people to the PHA Web User Conference. I have personal questions about what PHA Web is, even though I'm pretty sure you guys have described it to us 20 or 30 times. I still really don't know, but I don't want to bog down the meeting with that. So yeah, I don't have any particular questions. My big sort of going forward remark would be if there's something that you think, you know, as commissioners, hopefully we're catching saying, what the heck is this? Right. But if there's other things that just, you know, you're the professionals, you're the ones really working in this. If there's something you see and you think it deserves an explanation, that would be great too. Those are my thoughts.
I just have a question on the 76 Mechanic Street project. How's that going? Where you going?
Let's put Thomas on the construction subcommittee.
So
Yeah, I know.
So the good news is when it's completed in the summer, 76 Mechanic Street is going to be phenomenal. We're going to have new roof, probably new heating system. We're going to have laundry area. We threw out some of the add-ons. This originally started, Andrew, if I'm not mistaken, as like a kitchen upgrade.
Yeah, that's all it
Yeah.
was. That and the exterior patio was gonna be redone.
Yeah, and now it's gonna have a new electric system. It's gonna have a backup generator, a concrete pad. It's gonna have an expanded little play area.
Right.
There was an issue, earlier in the month. There was pipes freezing, there was water. It was due to the flume in the chimney. Bruce did a phenomenal job in our maintenance department addressing that. OFH still has the lease rights, which we suspended. We're not seeking any payment or anything, but they still have lease rights to the property. But when it's all said and done, Mechanic Street's going to be a nice property as a shelter, whether it's a shelter for families, a shelter for veterans or individuals, that's to be determined. It's got a nice ADA ramp. It's going to have one unit we can put an ADA family in. But definitely a absolute example of the Fitchburg Housing Authority staff taking a $300,000 project and turning it into a $2 million project. Right. And my staff has done phenomenal with that enhancements going in. And we have a clerk that works on the property. The same clerk for Wallace is doing mechanic. We had some issues that we wanted to make sure were addressed, time issues and quality control issues. Every 2 weeks, we have a live meeting with the contractor, the architect, the clerk of the works, and HLC to keep the contractor on target. So I want to thank Ada Alvarado and Maribel Cruz from the city. They toured Mechanic Street, I think 4 months ago. Excuse me. And they looked at it in a way we didn't look at it before. Right. And like a laundry room, your second floor, other items that we didn't look at, and neither did the design team. Right. So we got those added in. Right. Good.
What are we gonna do with it when it's done?
Well, that's a bigger discussion. The VA is chomping at the bit. We have, it could be, it's going to be a shelter.
It could be a shelter, it could be.
I would not recommend going back to the old system they had. It was not a good program that was under. As long as the program, whatever it is self-sustaining, and the OFH and the housing authority are not losing funds. Because right now we're losing about $2,000 a month. Utilities, we have insurance costs. And 2 years ago, we actually were, for the first time ever, our 689 program was in the red and reserves. For 20 years, it had negative reserves. We had negotiated new agreements. Obviously, I don't want to rehash what happened with OFH and the infamous phone call March of 23, which led to everything. But it's going to be a great property, just phenomenal property. New driveway too.
Yeah. It's nice. It's really, really nice.
Disabled veterans.
I appreciate that.
It's 2 houses up from the house I grew up in.
Yeah. Can we, at the same time, we do an update for Wallace and bring in the contractor, can we do something like that at 76 around the same time?
And make sure you bring in the clerk of the works so we can give him a hard time.
Okay, that's right.
Why, you know him or something?
I do, yeah.
He's a good guy.
I didn't know we had hired him until yesterday, but I'm a big fan.
What would be nice is that maybe in April or May, when the weather's nice, we can get the Fitchburg Fire Department's van and do a tour of our properties.
That would be good. That would be great.
Yep.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Boschman. I would like to acknowledge before we close our meeting, I want to thank Heidi. Help me pronounce your last name?
Bogner,
Bonio.
Bogner. I say Bogner, but it's Bogner.
Okay. Thank you so much for coming. And I understand that she is interested in joining our Board of Commissioners, and we hope that, we have been an organization that you say, hey, I want to be a part of this team. I want to be a part of this team. And we're just here just trying to carry out the mission of this organization. And we just believe in serving people. And so we thank you again for taking time out of your busy schedule to come to observe today. And we would like to, offer you this time to have words, if you'd like to address us and tell us what you think.
Thank you. It seems very well organized and very thoughtful in how we're moving. For example, not just jumping into the project, but putting that delay in so that we can really research. And I'm looking forward to, helping families get homes, right? And have the best possible experience they can. Thank you.
And I'll piggyback on Thomas. Patty, if you have questions about, just, what we do day, what we do as a board, programs, FHA, I mean, it's a pretty expansive system. So, whatever, reach out to, I'd be happy to answer any questions or just talk to you about whatever. I would imagine Doug would be happy to, or,
Thank you.
I mean, I think this board works pretty well together, so I think you can bother any of these people. But I will say, feel free to reach out if you have questions or whatever.
Thank you very much.
Well, what's
Looking
the,
forward to my appointment. God
I
willing.
was just gonna say, what's the next step in the process? Do we just, the mayor moves forward with the appointment or?
Yes.
You have to,
She mentioned that I submitted my interest, and so she said she's going to bring that to the appointments. As she left, she said,
Right,
so what good is it? Yeah, so she's going
okay,
to submit that to the appointments committee.
okay.
And how it works is, Chairman uses the governor's appointee.
Right.
You're just some random guy.
They're the tenant appointee and labor appointee.
So we'll be the two randoms. And then everybody else is back.
okay.
The randoms are the strong ones. Thank you again for coming and for willing to join us. It's great work. It's a mission that we have all agreed to work on. All right, anything else? Motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.